All right, it is 2:21 in the morning here, and I have to be at the gym in 3 hours. I don't think I'm going to bed. I've been up all night just puttering around. But I had a few requests on this YouTube page, which was amazing to me because I'm just ranting. I'm just being me. The crazy Rob, the fun Rob, I guess. But I had some people in the past couple weeks post up on my Facebook about, hey, where's the new vid? So I did a poll, and people want vids. So here's a vid. I haven't done a lot of videos over the past couple weeks because there's been stuff that I just didn't feel like talking about. Like, the whole Trayvon Martin thing, both sides are fucked up. Who knows if we're ever going to get the final say on what really happened. Nobody knows, and one person's dead. So you got to take the other guy at his word, or you just don't believe him. Who knows? But I hate these new cigarettes. What I'm gonna talk about now is voter fraud, which is what I'll call it. I don't even know if that's what it's called, voter fraud. Look, I know it's been going on probably since voting was invented. Rich people buy elections. We all know that. Fuck these cigarettes. Alright, but here's the deal. I knew that it was going on, after the ballot was cast. You look at the Iowa caucus and the Maine caucus. Those two main ones, I've talked about them before. And it was obvious that there was some bullshit going on in both states. Because after the investigations, and even before the investigations were finished, they either the chairmans either stepped down or they were fired. So obviously, those elections were bought in some way. I don't know if we'll ever get the full story behind it, but the shit was screwed up. So this guy O'Keefe, okay, he works for Breitbart. Not a lot of people like Breitbart. I don't care. I think Breitbart had his own agenda, and I think he just wanted to ruffle feathers everywhere he went, and that's fine. A lot of the stuff he put up may not have been completely factual, but some of the shit turned out to be completely true. Mr. Wiener and your wiener, that turned out to be completely true. And everybody, when Breitbart first came out with it, because O'Keefe was the one who broke it, everybody was like, oh, this shit's not real, and then it was completely real. O'Keefe was also the guy who broke the Acorn stuff. He was the one. If you've ever seen, if you remember back to 2009, is I believe when it happened, the whole Acorn scandal. And I won't go into the 2008 election, but that's where a lot of this stemmed from. And you can go back and look this up for yourself. It's all factual. There was a federal investigation done, and they found that O'Keefe's videos were kind of one-sided, which I would expect. Anybody that edits a video, it's going to be one-sided. It's going to try and tell one story and not both sides of the coin. But regardless, because of his journalism, I did put up the quotes for that, other investigations were done, and actually some people were prosecuted. Some people either served time or they had to at least do probation. A bunch of money was given back. Acorn pretty much shut down almost at the time. So he's done some big stuff, and what he's working on now is how easy it is to fraudulently vote. His latest video, because he's already gone through 3 states, and 2 of the 3 states that he has done these videos on, and I'll explain what they are in a second, but 2 of them have implemented voter ID, where when you need to go register to vote, or when you're going to go vote, you need to show proof of ID before you can do said thing. And I completely agree with it. I have to have an ID to go buy cigarettes and alcohol and drive a car, so I don't see why I don't need ID to vote. It's very strange to me. Regardless, there are a ton of states that don't have voter ID laws. You just walk in and you say who you are, and you can go either register or you can go vote. So what he did is he walked in, and I'll post a link to the video. Little hidden camera, you know, just like he's always been doing. And he's like, "Hey, I'm Eric Holder." Hopefully you guys know who Eric Holder is. If you don't, I think you might need to go look that one up. But he walks in, he's like, "Hey, I'm Eric Holder. You know, my address is blah, 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 blah." And the guy looks it up. He's like, "Yep, got you right here. Here's the form." And O'Keefe is like, "Well, I forgot my ID. You know, it's in the car." And the guy's like, "Nope, that's fine. You don't need it." And O'Keefe again, he's like, "Well, hey, I really think I should go get my ID. I would just feel better about it." And the guy's like, "No, you walked in, said who you were. I found you here on the list. As long as you are who you say you are, we're good to go with that." And O'Keefe is like, "I'm going to go back out to the car faster than you can say furious," which I love. I love that. Again, look up Eric Holder and look up all the fucking gun running bullshit that's been going on and costing people fucking lives because we thought it would be a good idea to fucking sell guns and try and trace them back to the head honcho down in Mexico, and it never fucking panned out, except that the guns that we sold killed a fuck ton of people, including a United States officer. So, there you go. Lots of people a little bit upset about that, especially because now, even though it was the government that did it, now people want to create more strict gun laws. I know I probably didn't use proper English there, it's late. Stricter laws on guns because of what the government did. So that's why, you know, everybody's been all over Holder for a while. But now it's just one more thing, and I guess the reason why they're all over him again is because he basically told Texas, "Hey, I don't know what your big deal is and why you want voter ID laws. We don't need them. There's no solid evidence that people can fraudulently vote." Really? Really? I mean, you can't even imagine how it could happen. And that's why O'Keefe is doing these investigations. So, yeah. So, like I was saying earlier, I knew from the other half, people buy elections. You got the super PACs, you know, taking the huge money out of the equation that people use to literally buy elections by just promotion alone, or browbeating anybody else. Taking that out of the equation, you can use that money to pay people off to fuck up the vote count. It's on paper, you know, especially these caucuses. It's on fucking paper. The dudes are freaking hand doing their math and adding them up and then calling them in to the center. And then when they're done, they take that paper and they throw it away. So there's no evidence of the actual votes themselves. So that's very easy to manipulate. But I find that now you can just walk, like, I didn't know this. Like, how stupid am I? You know, I'm always calling other people stupid. I'm pretty dumb for not knowing that it was this easy. Hey, walk in and go, "I'm Tom Brady. Here's my address. I want to vote. I want to register to vote," whichever it is. And it's happening. And in some of these videos, in some of these investigational videos, the people running this shit are more than happy to help you forge it. You know, they're like, literally, "Well, what if my signature doesn't look the same?" "Oh, we're cool with that. That's a special ballot. You go over here." What? I mean, it was already in the news, and I'd heard it before, you know, years ago. It's been going on for years about deceased people who are deceased. And you know, I got that. You know, and people have been caught and prosecuted for that. So I thought that was over with. But they found new ways to do it now. So yeah, how about some fucking identification before somebody can go in and vote? Does that not make sense to anybody else other than me? I don't get it. We've probably got a pretty important election coming up. You know, in a few months, maybe. You know, not quite a year, less than a year. What? 8 months? What month is this? I don't even fucking know. We got some important shit coming up, and it's this easy to register to vote. It's this easy to vote, and claim you're somebody else. How does that even make sense? You know, the Acorn shit where they were duplicating votes. At least that got caught, but it was well after the fact. The damage has already been done. And that's what I'm finding here. And I got to shorten this video, but it's like we should be able to figure this out before it happens, but we don't. We figure it out after. No matter how many people scream bloody murder at the time or even before it, we don't bother to stop it from fucking happening. But when the election is done, and either the person is already in office or we already have, our GOP frontrunner, the damage is fucking done. So it doesn't matter if you go back and investigate it then. There's momentum. There's momentum when you're a fucking candidate. If you don't have that momentum, people are going to look at you like you're just not a frontrunner and they're not going to vote for you. So fixing it after the fact is fucking bullshit. So people need to get hot on this now, Mr. Holder and others. And yeah, voter ID. Why not? Rant over.